Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you 3 websites to help you plan better backcountry fishing trips. I actually wish I was camping right now, but there's a huge rainstorm today and tomorrow, a monsoon really. So I'm just killing some time with this trip with this video for now. It's just a very quick overview of these 3 GIS or online digital mapping tools, which are CLUPA, the Crown Land Use Policy Atlas, Fish Online, and Navionics. And I'm just going to show you how I would use them if I were planning a real trip. The first one is the Crown Land Use Policy Atlas, and that's a mouthful, so you can just call it CLUPA. And I think it's the least known of the ones I'm going to show you. Fish Online and Navionics, a lot of you may be familiar with already. So I think this one would be the most beneficial. I'll take you into it here. You go to the site, which I'll link in the description. And let's say I'm planning a trip to Wassaxina Lake in Temagami. So all I do is zoom in, and the key to get up and running with this is to hit Find Information, General Land Use Information, and then hit this little circle tool because it'll allow you to interact with the landscape. Click on that, and then it says select a point. So I can click anywhere here, it's all the same, as you can see by the color. Oop, I actually didn't click on it. Oh, there it is. Okay, and the cool thing with this is that now I'll hit English for the report. And this report's going to tell me what I can do on this ground land. So it'll give you a description, which is nice. But more importantly, if you scroll down to recreation activities and facilities, you'll see what you're allowed to do on this land. So camping is permitted here, hunting permitted, sport fishing permitted, and this is really what the benefit of this website is. You close that and go back, and if I zoom out, you can see all kinds of other land use designations like provincial parks and conservation areas. And if you click on each one with the circular tool, that's the key, you can get reports for each one. So that's CLUPA. The next one is Fish Online. And again, a lot more of you might be familiar with this, but super useful tool. I use it in all my trip planning. So just click on the lake. That'll bring up the information for that water body. It'll tell you some stats on this lake, which is cool, really useful for fishing. So this one has a maximum depth of 31 meters. So that immediately tells me it could support lake trout, and it's a useful thing to know when you're fishing and trying to dissect the lake. It tells you what fisheries management zone it's in. You can also add lake depth contours. So that's pretty cool. There are different ways to get these lake contours, but this is a nice, easy one that's integrated with something that you can already use for your trip planning in the first place. So if you go through, you can see regulations at zone 11 here. Fish, what fish it has. If there is any stocking, it'll tell you here. And you can also fill out a fish survey, and that goes into the fish list. And if people fill out the survey for a lake, it actually shows it down here. It shows you what they caught and when they caught it. So that's, someone could lie, but I don't know why they would do that. So that's pretty cool to get that kind of live reporting. And if you zoom out to another lake here, Pig Lake, for instance, here, if you want to get stocking information, it'll display all that for you here. So this one's been stocked pretty consistently and heavily for a decade with Splake. So, yep, that's Fish Online. Just actually one more thing. If you zoom in to the largest scale, it'll display high resolution satellite imagery. So that's nice to get. It's higher resolution than what you would get from Google Maps, for instance. Like you can see individual trees. And you can also use this to pick out shoals. If the lake doesn't have lake depth contours, you can find shoals just using the high resolution satellite imagery. And the last app is Navionics. So this really is similar to Fish Online in the sense that it has lake depth contours, but it's just a better visualization tool for seeing the contours and seeing the breaks. For instance, I can see shallow bays here and here. I can see the deepest part of the lake here. It's 80 feet. fish. And then you can identify prime structure as well. For instance, here's a steep drop off in the middle of the lake with a nice big shoal and feeding flat there. So, and I can tell you from personal experience that is a really good spot. So yeah, those are those three tools. The lakes that are on Navionics, it's really only a fraction of the total number of lakes in Ontario. Since there are more than 250,000, they can't cover them all. And you'll find that they actually overlap with the Fish Online lakes that have contour information. That's because they come from the same source, which is the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, not Navionics actually that's providing the data. That data is just something they've taken and presented for public use. Yeah, I'll put all the links in the description, and I hope this helps you plan better backcountry trips.